This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich, founder of Abich Financial Services.
Something that you and I bonded on early in our friendship is our love for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to any Nets games this season?
I haven't. Sadly, I have not yet.
That is
not
sad.
Yet. Yep. And they got some young players right now that getting this franchise turned around.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but they got some good young talent. I've had a bunch of friends that have gone recently and have enjoyed the games. So
fun.
They're turning this organization back around.
That's it.
Slowly.
That's it. One game at a time.
That's right.
That's how it works with not just baseball, but with all professional sports.
That's true.
When it comes to Major League Baseball, though, if you look at how teams win, success, it doesn't always come from those big home runs. The same can be said for your retirement strategy, as it would turn out. This is financial author Patrick Kelly talking about the idea of singles and doubles and winning on that strategy.
I think people feel like they need to hit home runs or grand slams to win this retirement game, and it's not true. All they need to do is hit singles and doubles over and over and over again, getting on base over and over and over again, and never taking a loss. I mean, think about it. We're using the baseball analogy a little further. If you could hit a single every single time and never strike out, you're going to win that game.
Something that you and I have spoken before, Abe, on the radio show is how you see so many people arriving to the doorstep of retirement with $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million. And you're saying to them, you have won the game. Like you are there. You have arrived. So if singles and doubles win the game, how does that translate into winning our own retirement game?
Right. Well, I did play baseball all my life, and I got to play at Liberty University, and I know firsthand that, look, getting on base and the team who gets on base the most typically has the best chance of winning, and the singles and doubles are what wins games. You know, sometimes a home run wins games, sometimes home runs win games, but usually the guys that swing for the fences and have the most home runs also strike out the most as well. So getting on base is the name of the game in retirement as well. So look, getting on base, just like good teams focus on base hits, getting on base, retirees who stay invested, follow a clear plan through markets ups and downs, are far more likely to score over time than going for, the hot stock, at that time. Yeah. Chasing bad pitches, one of the biggest kind of swing for the fences mistakes that retirees can make is selling after the market drops, right? Letting emotion take over, emotional exits, lock in losses, similar to chasing a pitch in the dirt, striking out when patience would have kept you alive in the inning, and guessing for the perfect pitch. Once investors step out of the game, many wait far too long to get back in. They'll say, I just want to wait till the next president gets in, or whatever it is that they're thinking about. But the markets don't wait for you, and you want to stay invested. It's time in the market long term versus timing the market. And so that's like waiting for the perfect pitch that never comes instead of taking the easy singles when it's offered. We want to get on base. We want stability. We want simplicity in retirement. We want a boring retirement plan almost. Boring is not bad, right? I mean, if your portfolio is all over the place and up and down, and that is not good, right? We want stability in retirement. So simple and boring can be a very good thing in terms of your retirement plan. And we want to avoid big, sudden changes with lots of volatility. Instead, we want the opposite in retirement. So in baseball, getting on base would be the equivalent. Singles and doubles.
Okay.
We just worked with a gentleman out of Alexandria, Virginia, early 60s, just retired in the last couple years, former firefighter. So had a 457 plan. And just no idea what to do at the point of retirement. Knew how to contribute to the 457. He's got a pension. Concerned with having the money last. This is the single gentleman. Doesn't really have a lot of beneficiaries, so he's really focused on planning for himself over his lifetime. Really wanting to understand his investments in the 457 plan better. Wanting to make the right pension decision. Wanting to be able to enjoy these assets while he's alive and while he's in good health, versus maybe having regrets in your late 70s and 80s, having wished that you enjoyed your money in your early years when you were able.
Right.
All of these were reasons why he came in, and then we put together a plan for him that addressed all these things. We first put together a 401k x-ray, for him specifically, a 457 x-ray.
Okay.
A deep dive into that employer plan of his and the investments that were in his specific plan, the pros and cons of them. There were positive parts. There were also some parts that could be improved.
Sure.
And he was looking for steady growth with protection. So many pre-retirees and retirees are looking for this, and just really didn't want to have to worry about his money, right? Wanted a plan that could be on autopilot, where he could go and do the things that he wanted to do in retirement and worry a lot less about his money in retirement. If you're 55 and older, you've saved $500,000 or more for your retirement, we'd like to also offer you the same 457 401k. You might have a TSP 403b x-ray, just like we provided to this gentleman, to look at the assets, look at his accumulation assets that he's built so far, the pros and cons of those, side by side, a retirement income plan that can take those assets and turn them into enjoyable income. Do you need or want a second look at your employer plan, whether it's a TSP, 401k, 403b, or old employer plan? We'd be happy to offer that to you complimentary.
All right, keeping on the theme of things not to do in our retirement and with our retirement savings, Abe, there's an article on moneywise.com listing out things that can derail our retirement plans. And it includes some of the usual culprits, things like markets, taxes, long-term care costs. But it also mentioned, quote, slow leak spending habits. And so this article went on to say that most retirees don't spend their wealth on things like yachts or luxury watches. I laugh just thinking about people that come to the office, Abe, and the hardworking people of the DC metro area just walking in, oh, my yacht, Buffy. Like, these are not the people
Not the case.
that you're normally meeting with at Abish Financial Services. But what can happen is that they gradually lose their wealth through uninteresting and often overlooked expenses. So what are these expenses that we are not thinking about, we are not planning for? And how do you help people build plans so that they don't have this slow leak on their savings?
Well, first off, I want to encourage our listeners to stop wondering if they're going to be okay and start planning, right? And the more you plan, the more clarity and confidence you're going to have around your specific financial situation. But it takes you being proactive. It takes you picking up the phone, making the call, doing research, seeking out retirement planning firm, a fiduciary retirement planning firm that you think, could be a good fit for you and your goals and objectives. But from the article, and I see this all the time, emergencies don't stop. Unexpected expenses don't stop in retirement. In fact, they continue, sometimes at the worst possible time, and sometimes it all comes down at once and happens at once.
Yeah.
Here's a couple examples. A lot of times retirees continue spending as if their income is still coming in, as if that paycheck is still coming in, even when they're drawing down on their savings. And over time, that habit can quickly chip away at a portfolio that once felt more sufficient, right? Especially if the markets are down and things are choppy. We're taking out money for income, but then, a furnace goes, a water furnace goes, an HVAC unit goes. Oh, we need a new car. We've had this car for 20 years and the new car is going to be, 50 grand, 80 grand, 100 grand for a nice SUV.
Yeah.
Our daughter's getting married earlier than we thought. We've got an extra, $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 in wedding expenses. And oftentimes, Heather, our clients are sandwiched right in between helping their parents that are aging and their kids that are not on their own yet, financially. And so we see that just some extra income and cash flow coming out to take care of their parents or to take care of a child, financially that's not fully on their own yet. And it happens to our clients a lot, and people that we see, that these unexpected emergencies and expenses just pop up. It's life. It's part of life.
Is.
But we want to have a plan.
That's right.
For the unexpected as much as possible. So we just recently worked with a couple out of Purcellville, Virginia, Western Loudoun County, a couple $1 million saved, 5 risk on our risk scale, just middle of the road, conservative investors, both former government employees with TSPs, FERS pensions, Social Security checks, and that's where the majority of their life savings was built in that thrift savings plan, which is much like a 401k for a non-government worker, just a really good way to accumulate and sock away money, but we found not the best distribution or income tool at all.
Okay.
And so here's this couple out of Purcellville, Virginia, just looking for clarity around how they can retire and how they can package it all together. Came to us with no income plan or roadmap, lots of unforeseen expenses on their farm. They live on a bunch of land out there in Western Loudoun. Unforeseen expenses there on the farm, and then just some unforeseen family things going on the farm. You know how family things go sometimes.
Yes, we do.
They pop up,
Yes, we do.
And that's what happens when we got to take care of family.
That's right.
So the solution for them and what we did for them, Heather, is we put together a comprehensive retirement income plan and retirement roadmap. That put together all of their income streams, their pensions from the government, their Social Security checks, but also the TSPs. We consolidated them, we merged them together, we put them together into a phase 2 retirement plan where they could take those TSPs, those accumulation buckets of monies, those assets, and turn them into enjoyable, stable income that can be there for everything life throws at you, right? You need continued growth, but you also need protection. This family wanted to preserve the assets for their families. They also wanted to make sure they had money set aside for expenses and emergencies, for health care, all of it. And so if you're 55 years old and older, you're listening right now, you also have $500,000 or more of investable assets we can help you manage. We'd like to put together the same comprehensive income plan and roadmap that we put together for this couple in Percival for you to help you follow and track what you're doing in retirement, complimentary.
Abe and his team, they're here to help you do that. So it's theretirementkey.com to start the conversation, or you can just click on the links we've got posted in the show notes.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich. To learn more about Abich Financial Services, visit theretirementkey.com. And join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. Abish Financial Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor with the SEC. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training, and the content of this communication has not been approved or verified by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission or by any state securities authority. The information contained in this material is intended to provide general information about Abish Financial Wealth Management and its services. It is not intended to offer investment advice. Investment advice will only be given after a client engages our services by executing the appropriate investment services agreement. Information regarding investment products and services are provided solely to read about our investment philosophy and our strategies.